The idea that we are what we eat may be truer and more profound than we ever imagined, especially when it comes to brain health. With no definitive cure for Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia, the spotlight has shifted to prevention. And at the heart of that preventative strategy is food, not just any food, but functional food, the kind that doesn't just fill your stomach but actively does something good for your body. Or, in this case, your brain. The notion that a well-curated diet could delay, or even prevent, neurodegeneration isn't just health blog optimism, it's a growing field of scientific inquiry. And while we're still connecting the dots, those dots are starting to form a pretty convincing picture. At the biochemical level, many of the pathways that lead to cognitive decline, think inflammation, oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, and poor blood flow, are also modifiable through nutrition. This makes food not just a passive background player in brain aging, but a potential frontline defense. For instance, anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, omega-3s, leafy greens, berries, and nuts have consistently been linked to better cognitive performance and slower decline. The omega-3 fatty acids in fish, especially DHA, are crucial components of neuronal membranes, and they don't just hang around looking pretty. They modulate neuroinflammation, promote synaptic plasticity, and help neurons talk to each other like old friends. People with higher DHA intake have shown lower risk of Alzheimer's, and some imaging studies even show increased brain volume in key memory centers among fish lovers. So yes, the salmon may actually be saving your hippocampus. Then there's the matter of herbs, those fragrant little afterthoughts we chop onto food for flair. It turns out they may be quietly revolutionizing our approach to neuroprotection. Sage and rosemary, for example, aren't just delicious. They contain compounds like rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid, which inhibit the breakdown of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter critical for memory, and reduce inflammation. Clinical trials have already shown cognitive benefits from standardized sage extracts, even in people with early Alzheimer's. These herbs aren't just culinary, they're pharmacological, whether we acknowledge it or not. Turmeric is another headliner in the functional food scene. The golden compound curcumin has shown promise in reducing beta-amyloid plaques and inflammation in animal models, and even improving mood and memory in human studies. While bioavailability remains a challenge, your body tends to treat curcumin like an awkward guest, polite, but shown the door quickly. Formulations that include black pepper or fat-based carriers seem to help absorption. So maybe that turmeric latte isn't such a hipster indulgence after all. It might be a neuroprotective cocktail. And what about coffee? Once vilified, it now enjoys a bit of a redemption arc in brain science. Caffeine stimulates the central nervous system and increases alertness, sure, but coffee also contains a host of polyphenol and antioxidants. Multiple longitudinal studies have found that moderate coffee drinkers have a lower risk of developing dementia. That might not mean you should double-fist espresso shots all day, but it does suggest that your morning ritual may be doing more than just keeping you awake in meetings. It could be gently nudging your brain toward resilience. Functional food isn't just about individual nutrients or superfoods, though. It's about patterns, how whole diets work together to reduce risk. That's where the Mediterranean diet and its cousin, the Mind diet, come in. These eating patterns emphasize vegetables, legumes, whole grains, olive oil, nuts, fish, and you guessed it, herbs and spices. Large observational studies have shown that adherence to the Mind diet can slash dementia risk by as much as 53% in high adherence groups. Even modest adherence confers significant benefit. That's a huge deal. Imagine if a pill could cut dementia risk in half. Wall Street would break into song. But because this intervention involves kale instead of capital, it flies under the radar. Of course, diet alone isn't a silver bullet. It works best when paired with other brain-supporting habits. Physical activity, which boosts BDNF, a molecule that helps neurons grow. Social engagement, which keeps your cognitive wheels spinning. Sleep, because your brain takes out the metabolic trash at night. And stress reduction. Cortisol, destroyer of neurons. But food is the one variable you touch multiple times a day. Every bite is either a tiny contribution to long-term brain health or a lost opportunity. So, can diet alone delay dementia? Maybe not in total isolation, but as part of a lifestyle cocktail, it might be one of the most powerful and accessible tools we have. Functional foods aren't just a niche wellness trend. They're emerging as key players in the quest to age with memory intact. The kitchen may never replace the clinic, but if you stock it wisely with berries, olive oil, leafy greens, turmeric, and a good sprig of rosemary, You may just build a kind of edible insurance policy for your brain.